Hey guys, welcome back. We're on week 3, day 5. Happy Friday, or whatever day you happen to be practicing this on. We are aiming for 3 3/4 minutes total time today in our prep position on the blocks. That's going to be broken down into 5 repetitions of 45 seconds each. Just like every other day, if you can't hold for the full time, don't judge yourself. Pause, notice where your mind goes, and encourage yourself. So it's okay to drop back down onto the floor and just continue engaging, pulling those hips back. As a reminder, it is far, far more important in developing TVA strength to have your hips back behind your wrists. So at no point do you ever need to lift up if your hips are not behind your wrist. That's just going to put pressure in your arms and your shoulders, and that's not what we're aiming for here. It's not going to help you in the L sit. So avoid doing that, building muscle memory in places that we don't want to. Even if you can't lift off the ground, it's much better to be here with your hands mid-thigh and shifting back like this, just on the mat without lifting up, than it is to be here lifting up like this. It's going to put a lot more weight in your wrist that you don't need. They're sensitive, non-weight bearing joints, and we want to make sure that we're not putting more weight into our wrists than they're designed to handle. So be careful there, be mindful of what you're doing with your body. Don't be afraid to take pictures or video. A lot of the time, we don't really understand exactly where our body is in space. That concept and that skill is called proprioception, the awareness to know accurately where your body is in space. We have a very different picture oftentimes in our mind of where our body is compared to where it actually is, and recording videos of yourself to watch back is a wonderful way to develop that proprioception, that body awareness, to know where your body is. A lot of the time you'll put yourself into a position and you think that it looks a certain way in your mind, but when you watch it on a video playback, you actually notice different tendencies than you would because you're out of your own mind, right? So you're watching it like you're watching somebody else, and it allows you to have a different perspective and be able to help yourself grow by noticing things that you can then pay attention to, gain awareness for, and improve your practice. So 5 repetitions today. If you need to take more repetitions than that for shorter time, feel free. This is all about just pushing yourself and finding your limits, building strength. It doesn't matter how fast you're going. It doesn't matter if you're at the same place that I am in these videos. It's all about just growing on your own path. So go ahead and hop into something comfortable. Join me on your mat or your floor or wherever you are today. Grab a couple of blocks and let's get started. Whew. Wiggle it out. Maybe shake the wrists out a little bit. Scratch your nose. You can roll the wrist. Mine like to pop. All right. So we're going to place the blocks on either side of our hip, and notice our hands can be here, but if you're not able to lift up, don't start with your hands this far. If you're not lifting up yet, move your blocks up here so your hips are further back. Can you see the difference there? We're up here. If I'm not lifting up, I'm not going to be able to lift further back, and that's okay if you don't have that strength yet. Don't worry about it. Just move your blocks forward a little bit, press down into here, and pull your hips back, and it will take the weight out of your shoulders and your wrists because you won't be able to rely on them. Your center of gravity moves backwards with your hips, and so even just this, engaging and that little bitty shift of pulling your hips back, that's going to be working your TVA. So if you're not lifting up yet, that's fine. Just move the blocks forward a little bit. Okay, round 1, 45 seconds. Let's do it. Pressing down the blocks, shifting the hips back, feeling the body wake up, getting the blood flowing. Woo. Taking deep breaths here, remembering to stay engaged, pulling those toes back as a reminder to pull the hips back. Remembering that it's more important to pull back than it is to lift up. Challenging our body to meet our edge today. Pressing down through the fingertips. We're almost there, just about 10 more seconds left. You've got this. And release. Great work. That's challenging right out of the gate to do 45 seconds when we're accustomed to 30. It's okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to meet that edge. Whew. I'm definitely feeling it today. It's a big difference feeling between the 30 seconds and the 45 seconds. Oh man, I'm going to give myself a nice little hug here. I did some hip flexor exercises earlier. Oh, and they are worn out. So I'm just gonna hug them, thank my body for being here and showing up for me. If you need a little hip or booty massage, feel free to join me in this. If it's your wrists that need a little love, roll them out, stretch them out, give them a little self-massage. Just pay attention to your body. Ask it what it needs, it'll answer you. Oh, we're all different. We all need different things at different times, so it's important to pay attention to our bodies and allow ourselves to be ourselves. Okay, deep breath, round 2. Let's do it, 45 seconds. Pressing down, shifting back. I'm going to close my eyes here and focus on the engagement in my TVA. Feeling on my sides, close to where my obliques are. If you've ever done crunches, those muscles on the side, if you take one elbow to the opposite knee, it's a similar location where you'll feel the engagement for your TVA. Pressing the fingers down, melting the shoulders and shoulder blades down away from the ears. Whew. Feeling the body wake up. Almost there. And release. Oh, wow, that was challenging. Let's pause here for a moment and take a nice stretch. Opening up the side body, the obliques, thanking that belly for showing up and holding us up. So come to a cross-legged position. If you've normally got your left foot inside like I do, swap it out. If you're the opposite, go for whatever the opposite is that you usually do. Little yoga for the brain. Notice the difference in how those hips feel when you cross your legs differently. It's important to exercise both. We have so many one-sided preferences that we usually aren't even aware of, but it's important to switch it up and get some fresh energy into those areas that we don't pay attention to. So take a moment to breathe here. Give yourself a break. You've done 2 long, very challenging holds. Thank yourself. You give your little tummy a massage. You can flex and see if you can feel that TVA engage the side of the tummy. Feels good. Feels good to be in our bodies today. Can roll the neck a couple of times, side to side. And when you felt your heart rate start to slow a little bit, take one more deep breath, and we're going to bring our left hand down to our left side. Place our palm on the mat. We're going to inhale and stretch the right arm up and over, getting a deep stretch in that right side body. Shining the heart up towards the ceiling. Stretch your fingers a little bit further over to make that stretch deeper in your lower right side body. Exhale, bring it down and take it to the other side. Right palm placed on the mat to your right side. Left arm inhaling all the way up and over. Getting a nice stretch in that left side body. Right elbow can be bent or straight. Find what feels good here. Find a deep stretch. Not pushing to the point of pain or discomfort, but just finding some release in those muscles that we are asking to work so hard in our LSAT challenge. Exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Let's place our hands on our knees and take a few deep breaths together. If you'd like some comfort today, palms facing down. If you're open to receiving new things, feeling energized, palms facing up, or a mudra of your choice. Mudra is just a hand position, whatever you want to do that feels right for you. And just take a few breaths. Let it all out. We're challenging our bodies today. More than challenging our bodies, we're challenging our minds. Our bodies are capable of so much more than our minds typically allow. Don't be afraid to lean into that discomfort, to try new things. There's nothing scary about it. Discomfort only feels weird. It's just uncomfortable. It's not dangerous. It's not scary. It won't hurt you. It's just a sensation that we are not accustomed to embracing. So take a moment to let yourself feel that, feel the urge to pull away from it, feel the fear of it. Just be there and allow those feelings to exist. They're perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with them, and there's nothing wrong with you. New things are challenging. They're always challenging. And the biggest battle to fight with new things, with any challenge, is the one between your ears. It's the muscle responsible for everything that we do. And sometimes the hardest to train is our minds. Releasing, hopefully feeling a little bit more calm, a little less stress, a little less self-judgment. And let's come back into our L-sit position, and we're going to move on to our third repetition. Whew. Feels good to stretch those legs out. Wiggling into a comfortable seat. Wiggle the toes. Shake out the legs a little bit. My legs are pretty tired. They need all the help they can get. And when you're ready, join me for round number 3. Pressing down, shifting the hips back, engaging the core, pulling those toes back towards the face, making sure that our hips are behind our wrist. If they're not, set down on the floor and reset. We don't want to lift up in any way, shape, or form if our hips are not behind our wrist. Feeling the body shake here. Embracing that energy, the blood flowing, accepting the discomfort, acknowledging that we are challenging ourselves and growing in new ways. Almost there. You've got it. Whew. And release. Over halfway. We are almost there. Stretch the arms out. Give yourself a nice hug. Whew. Feeling the body come alive. Feeling those muscles do some really hard work. Let's take a little quad and hip flexor stretch. Coming onto the toes, you can bring the knees to the ground. Alternately, you can set your feet down, top of the feet on the mat. You can use blocks here to help you settle back down. And eventually move down to your elbows and forearms on the floor. This is a modified hero pose. It's a little bit easier on the knees with your feet completely under your bum than if they're spread side to side. And breathe into those quads and hip flexors. They're doing hard work lifting us up, pulling us back, working with the TVA to support our weight. So give them a little break. Just breathe lots of love in, lots of love out. It's a nice stretch. When you're ready, come back up. Reset your blocks, reset your seat, and let's go. Round number 4, we're almost there. On the downhill slope, and it's day 5. We've only got one more active day this week, and then we've got to rest. So thank yourself for showing up this week. You've done a lot of really hard, good work. You should be proud of yourself. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of me. We're doing it. We're doing it together. Okay. Wiggling it out, and let's get started. 45 seconds, shifting the hips back. Woo! Brought my mat with me that time. Pressing down through the fingers. I can look at my thumbs and say, hey thumbs, please press harder into those joints. Lifting the weight out of the wrist. If my quadriceps are cramping, I can try pointing the toes. Engaging my latissimus dorsi, those big muscles that create that triangle in our upper back, linked into our shoulders and our biceps. Those are helping support us too. We feel engagement from those by squeezing our elbows in towards our body. Almost there. And release. Feels good. We're almost there, just one more round. So eventually, when you've gotten some strength in your transverse abdominis and you're able to lift up off the floor and you're feeling yourself actively press your hands into the floor, the next step is engaging your shoulder girdle and your back stabilizing muscles. So you'll check this out here. You have two large muscles that make kind of this shape, and they start around up here and they come down into the center. So if you lift your arms like this, like you're a football goal, and you squeeze an invisible ball, you'll feel those muscles engage. So pretend like there's a big squishy something in between your hands and your elbows, and push in with your hands, push in with your elbows, engage, engage, and you'll feel those muscles in between your shoulder blades down your back engage. That's your latissimus dorsi. So those are stability muscles that strengthen your back and help support you. And that's what pulls your shoulders down away from your ears. So when you activate those muscles in your L-sit position, you're pressing down through your fingers, and that's activating your forearm muscles here. And then you're pulling your elbows in towards your body rather than splaying them out to the side. And that engagement in your hands, coupled with the sensation of pulling your arms in, is what's going to engage your lats and your back. And that action is going to be like this. It's going to pull your shoulder blades together and down a little bit, and that's going to help you get your shoulders from way up here by your ears down and your shoulders back. So it's really more of a from the ground up sensation. So as you build more strength in your fingers and your hands and your forearms, you're going to be able to feel that activation in your back. So if you don't feel it yet, don't worry about it. It comes with time. It took me a long time to be able to feel my back muscles engage like that, and a much longer time to be able to explain it. So don't feel like you're any kind of deficient if you can't yet. It's just a matter of practice. It's all about practice. Speaking of, one more round. We've got 45 seconds left. So if you're ready, let's get reset and go for the gold here. One more left. We can do this. We can do anything for 45 seconds. And if you can't, that's okay. Just set yourself down, continue engaging. Remember, the most important part is to keep your hips back behind your wrists. That's going to engage your core instead of your shoulders, and you're going to build strength here. So be sure, wherever you are, that your wrists are in front of your hips. It's the most important part. The lift doesn't matter nearly as much as that. Okay, let's go. Pressing down, shifting back, feeling the body shake. It's a good day to be alive. Thinking about how strong our bodies are to support us in this way. Feeling them shake but not giving up. Meeting our edge, knowing that we can do this, so we can challenge ourselves and meet that challenge. We are capable of learning and growing and strengthening, and that all growth occurs outside of our comfort zone. So knowing that we're going to be uncomfortable, and that's okay. Roll those hips back just a little further. We're almost there. Ah, release. Ah, yay! Week 3, day 5 in the books. Good job, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you for your continued support and participation in this challenge. I am immensely proud of you. It takes so much strength and dedication and fortitude to go into something brand new and work like you've been working. And I hope that you fully appreciate how incredible that is, and really pat yourself on the back and feel good about yourself, because you're doing really good, really important work. Still breathing hard. Okay, we've got one more day of active work this week. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some air time. So look forward to that. Get excited. If you're scared about it, think about how that feels in your body, and then think about how excitement feels. It's pretty close to the same feeling. So challenge yourself to change your perspective and think of that fear as an opportunity for you to excel and do something that you haven't done before. I will see you tomorrow for week 3, day 6. Have a good one.